Hello everybody, welcome to the Parasite mod. Now I'm not going to be doing a playthrough just yet. I will get to it, don't worry. Right now, I'm just going to showcase. We've got the Summon Recorder, Yellow Eye Bone. Just kidding, I'm not going to go through all of those like that. First off, we got Null. Now this currently in-game is impossible to get unless you're in creative mode. It doesn't really do much of anything. Like, you can throw it, but it doesn't really hurt the animals or anything else for that matter. I'm pretty sure it used to give things Wither, now it doesn't give anything. I might be wrong, but whatever. First up, we got the Host, which this guy is actually created once either a assimilated human or assimilated villager will kill enough skeletons and will create a host. Now, we're gonna keep inventory so he doesn't totally destroy me, or destroy my, so I don't get rid of my items. And hear me, I'm not hitting him. You can't hit him when he's underground. Everywhere he walks, the trail he leaves is some infested residue. Which, if you walk over it, you get the Call of the Hive effect, or Koth. Which... Oh, and he also summons Raptors. But we'll get to that. So, if you guys actually want to see the host, well, this is what the host looks like. Absolutely terrifying. He has a melee attack, and if you get far enough away, he will also throw bombs at you. I'm not making this up. Maybe I have to hit him first, actually. Yep. Now, these bombs are pretty dangerous, but I've got great armor on right now. I'm gonna get rid of these Raptors. So, that's basically what the host is. And that's all there is to it. He can't adapt, though. It's considered a assimilated mob or a crude parasite. Next up, we've got the Assimilated Big Spider, both versions. Now, this is the second version, the poisonous one. It's basically the assimilated variant of a cave spider, and if we were to go into survival mode, you can see that he poisons me. Now, this one is actually very easy to kill, considering it only has 11 health. And the first variant is the regular one, who doesn't poison you, but has more health, and I don't think does as much damage, though. Still pretty easy to kill, though. Now, the Assimilated Big Spider currently does not have any spawn, like, it can't spawn from anything, but this one does, the Assimilated Bear. It sounds like, it kind of sounds like a cow walking. Oh, this one is absolutely terrifying. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and that can happen with some assimilated enemies. They might explode and either release their head or release a bunch of buglins. This is the assimilated human. Now, this is what happens when a zombie is killed by a parasite, or a zombie dies when it has Koth 2. Yikes. That was the second variant. This is the first variant. Oh, Sounds gross. I honestly like these sounds. I don't know why. It's very therapeutic for me or something like that. Now, these are all the residue that it leaves behind. I'm not sure if these give cough considerably. I mean, it would make sense. These parasites, like, are, like, the fastest spreading type of disease. I mean, I wouldn't consider COVID as a parasite. I'd consider it's a disease. It's pretty fast. I don't know if we've ever had anything faster than that. Maybe Black Plague, something like that. I don't know. I'm getting off topic though. This is the walking head, and this is released sometimes when a assimilated human is killed. The walking human head. Next up, we've got the bane of my existence, the Assimilated Enderman. Yeah. So. Oof. And the worst part is it can swim too. Oh, and teleport too. He's so fast already. I don't think he needs to teleport. Also, he applies bleeding 3 to you, which is like the bleeding effect makes it so that once you walk, you take more damage, which makes sense as you're making the blood flow go faster, and if you have a wound, the blood would be pouring from that area. Now, if let's say we have a bunch of assimilated humans, we're gonna have the assimilated Enderman teleport them over to me. As you can see, right there, he's teleporting them over as if he wasn't overpowered enough with all of the abilities he has. Although I'm pretty sure you can hit this guy with arrows and maybe projectiles too if you're fast enough. Which is weird. It's waterproof, but it can still be damaged by arrows. Whereas a regular Enderman is the opposite. Was this dead body just trying to attack me in the water? Right. Now, we're gonna just get rid of this guy real quick. There we go. Next up, we've got the Assimilated Cow. Now, it's worth noting that Scape and Run Parasites is an early work in progress. It's currently in the beta stage right now. I think there was an alpha update, but right now the latest update, 1.9.5, which came out in April. It's currently, hold on, let me set the time to day real quick. So there's lots of things to be changed and added and stuff like that. Which is why there's lots of glitches and stuff like that. And next up, we've got the Assimilated Cow, which has something that's a little bit weird about it and different. The cow has a charge attack, which actually ignores invincibility frames. Oh, what is it doing? Hello, are you okay? It's kind of cute. Get back! Can I not critical him? I can't crit him. The hell? Ah, he knocked me in the friggin' water. Oh my gosh. Okay, it still is very scary. Here, we're gonna... Actually, I think the cow is fixed. Not in that way. Oh, we got the walking head of the cow, which is... Actually, if we're going to kill this guy, we're gonna we're gonna try and show you. Yeah, you can see he's gonna explode into a bunch of buglins. Now I gotta get rid of these. So the buglins are the first parasite, actually, but we'll get to them in a second. For now, we're going in order that the mod shows the items with the list. So next up, we've got Assimilated Sheep. Now all of these are made when a parasite either kills this or when a mob has Koth 2 and it eventually goes up to Koth 3. Now players only can go up to Koth 2. Die. Nope. Die. And die. Oh yeah, and the explosion they leave behind leaves a lingering cloud of Koth and poison. So that's it for those guys. Next up, we're gonna go to the next list. So that was Assimilated Sheep. Next up, we've got these 8. Die. Die. Next up, we've got the walking head of the sheep. And as you can see, he attacks me at first, but then he runs away. Because he's very small and weak. Die. And he makes some weird noises. Next up, we've got the Assimilated Wolf. Very strong, very tough, actually. And very fast, too. I mean, it makes sense. I'm pretty sure a wolf in real life should be faster in Minecraft than the wolves already are. The wolves in Minecraft are very slow. And way too nice, too. They're literally, they act like dogs, honestly. Except not this guy. This guy's like a rabid wolf. Rabid, stop. Next up, we've got the walking head of the wolf. And, now we've got an assimilated pig. Oh. Now all the parasites don't have eyes. None of them have eyes, because that's just the way parasites are. Parasites in real life don't have eyes either. Boom. He exploded. Very much. Next up, we've got the head of the pig. Oof. Big head. Very big head. Next up, we've got Assimilated Villager. Oh, this is the second variant of it. You can see his skull popping out of his head. It's yellow and... ugh. He's like a skeleton variant. Next up, we've got the first variant of him. This one looks more like a villager. Now, he gives us fear. All parasites that are after us give us the fear effect, which it used to make it so we kind of fumble a little bit, but now the fear effect makes it so you take more fall damage. Or don't in this case, as the game is lagging. No? There we go. Apparently these boots are a little too overpowered. Oh! Hi. As you can see, the bleeding damages me more often when I'm moving around. Next up, we've got the head of the villager. We've got the 2 variants of it, actually. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, we've got the second variant of the walking head of the human. It's bloody. It's like, there's the skinned variant, and then... oh, skinned variant. And the, like, degloved variant. Degloved is the human head, and skinned is the villager head. That is... oof. Next up, we've got the incomplete form. Now, this thing spawns when parasites don't go through the Koth stage. If they, like, the parasites hide. So hide as in, one of these pigs could be a parasite, but they're just hiding in a regular pig body. But if you were to bring it to low enough health, which is 2, these pigs aren't infected, by the way, but if you were to bring it to a low enough health, it'll undisguise and turn into that thing. But if the cough finishes, it'll turn into its assimilated variant. Disgusting. Alright, next up, we've got the last bits of, I think the low-tier parasites. Yeah. We've got the medium and complete form. This is the same thing. Now, it goes from, like, let's say if a chicken were to be infected, because chickens don't have their assimilated counterpart, it would be a small and complete form. But let's say if a spider were to be infected, it would be a medium and complete form. And these guys hit pretty hard. I've got really good armor on right now, so he's not that bad. The incomplete forms do 10 damage. Also, all parasites can move actually faster in the water, which makes sense. In real life, parasites love the water. They love to go to the area because it's cool for them. And parasites are actually weak to fire, which makes it so all parasites can actually lunge in the water. That's the thing I hate about this mod. It's so terrifying. It's so scary. So, you know how most things are slow in the water, but these parasites are actually really fast. Which means, right now, oh, I'm fast. The parasites are actually take double damage to fire. You can see how it did 2 damage instead of 1 there. See? Yeah. Oh gosh. You weren't supposed to see that yet. Ooh. So this is the Assimilated Horse, by the way. And it is terrifying as ever. Oof. Die. No. Don't escape. And this is the head of the horse. It's pretty powerful. And this is the Assimilated Adventurer. Now this spawns when you are killed by a parasite. So you're not safe from the infection that well either. Mainly because this mod is unbelievably overpowered, but die. Double damage with the fire. Now, it's only the assimilated animals that drop buglings, but all assimilateds drop their heads, except for the ones that don't have a head drop and are just explode like that. Like the bear. The bear doesn't have a head drop. Next up, we've got one of the bosses of the mod, the Assimilated Ender Dragon. Oh. Why does it sound like a spider? Oh, he's fast. And he can actually shoot these things at you. It's just like the regular dragon, I mean. Now, you can see he's unbelievably overpowered. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, you do not want to run into this thing. This is unbelievably overpowered. I'm just glad it can adapt, because if it were to adapt, it would be unbeatable. Oh, I got some cores from it. Now note this other add-on that I'm using, SR Parasites add-on by NoCube, isn't actually a part of the Parasite mod. This is just an add-on. It's not actually made by the same creators. But next up is the Heed, which is another crude parasite, just like the host in incomplete forms. Now, it looks to be made of a bunch of human heads. That's kind of worrying. He is very fast, too. Oh! Next up, we've got the Crux. Now, the Crux can actually throw blocks at you. From afar, it'll pick up blocks, throw them at things, and it's actually very mad, as you can see. It has the rage effect applied to it. Now, the rage effect makes it so that entities that have the effect move faster and do more damage. So, he has it non-stop. You can't get rid of it if you wanted to. It makes it, like, let's say a speed 2 and a strength 2 effect. So instead of this guy doing 20 damage, he does 26 damage. That is just stupidly high. I don't know where he went. Let's see where he went. Did he despawn or something? Now, the Crux will actually kill every single mob, unlike other parasites that just go, you know, straight for the animals, like, let's say, a Raptor. That's not the Crux, that's the Heed. The Crux will go for every single mob. Oh, nice animations. Yikes. Next up, we have the primitive parasites. Now, these parasites are made from when a bunch of assimilated parasites get enough kills, assimilated mobs will get enough kills, and they'll melt down into moving flesh. And when four of moving flesh merge together, they'll form one of the several primitive parasites. The first one we've got is the primitive long arms. Yikes. Now, this guy can jump, he can also climb walls, and he's considered to be the strongest. Not this one, but the adapted long arms, we'll get to him in a second, is the strongest parasite in the game. Where did he go? Oh, I can see him. Ooh, you hear those sounds? Oh! Now, each parasite has their own ability. The long arms, first of all, the more damage he takes, the more damage he does. So, we're gonna deal a good amount of damage to him. As you can see, he does half a heart more often now. And for this one, he does a heart now. Whew. And this is the primitive parasite residue. Next up, we've got the primitive summoner. He's a little squeaker. Now, the reason why he's called the summoner, that's why. He summons Raptors. and everything that he summons has the rage effect applied to them. So anytime a parasite summons anything, they'll have the rage effect applied to them. Kill you. Die. Die. Ah! What is he doing? Hang on a second. Okay, good. He's not sus. He wasn't an imposter. Next up, we've got the Primitive Reeker. Now, this guy has two variants. The first one being... Nope, that's not the right one. The first one... Really? The first one being the regular Primitive Reeker. And this guy has a charge attack, just like the cow did. Which ignores... Oh my god! Which ignores invincibility frames. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. So, he's a little overpowered. I'd say he's way too overpowered. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna hold a totem or two with me. So, he's also venomous and one of the fastest parasites in the game. In the entire mod. As you can see, he applies poison. He's very fast once he needs to be fast. As you can see that. Okay. Totem does not matter. Now, the primitive parasites have an adaptation system, meaning the more damage that they take, if they take enough damage, they can adapt to the damage. And once they turn purple, that means they've adapted fully to the damage. But the primitive parasites are very primitive in adapting. So, they're not so good at adapting. They're probably the worst in the game at adapting. They have an adaptation level of, I think, 1 or 2. So, next up we've got the Primitive Mandicator. Now, this is the fastest parasite in the game. As you can see, I have a speed 2 effect from this armor it's giving me. And you can see he's still faster than me. And look at that, he can also jump, leap, and do a little sidestep and, like, wave dashing. And he can also turn invisible, too. So, though, they nerfed him, so, you know, once he's invisible, He goes super slow, and you can now see him a little bit when he's invisible. Oh. And he does more damage once he's invisible. And he growls. Now, parasites can adapt to all damage types except for suffocation and the void, which makes sense. But when a parasite is on fire, they can adapt to fire, but when they're on fire, they have a lower chance of being able to adapt. So that's good. You should always have, if you're gonna go up against parasites, you should always have some sort of fire stuff. Next up is the primitive yellow eye. Now this guy can fly. He's probably the weakest of the primitive parasites, and he shoots poisonous projectiles at you. Ugh. Look at him. Look at him out there just mocking me. Ugh! Can't hit me, huh? Stop it! There you go. Next up, we've got the primitive bolster. Now, this guy may not look very friendly. I mean, he's not very friendly. He may look scary at first, but when you look at him, he's kind of eh. But what are his powers exactly? Well, his powers are giving other parasites buffs, like speed, strength, resistance, fire resistance, invisibility, stuff like that. So we're going to summon in a primitive summoner and see what he does. Yep, he gave him 4 more HP. And he's gonna give these Raptors, I guess, something else. So these Raptors with the rage effect applied to them are probably the fastest in the game, but all parasites can have the rage effect applied to them from one parasite. We'll get to eventually. We're gonna get rid of the bolster real quick. Yeah. Next up, we have the primitive Arachnida. Oh my. He's a spider with hands. Nice. And his weak spot is on his butt, or his abdomen. So when you hit it, it applies bleeding to him. But good luck ever trying to hit that. Fist fight. Ugh, my fists are not as strong. Oh yeah, and also, his power is he can pull entities towards him with his little webbing. And it gives them slowness and fear. Well, not fear. They already get fear. As you can see, he's kind of stuck. Yeah. Uh-huh. The Arachnid is still a work in progress. It doesn't even make any sound. Oh, my armor is not doing well. It's not doing good at all. He has 7 health left. No. No. See, he's the... Okay, never mind. Oh. It's impossible to escape from an Arachnid, so you just have to either fight or die. Kill or be killed. In this case, I'm gonna kill. There we go. Ooh, we've got a nice little village over here. Let me go infect the villagers real quick. Rub, 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 rub. There you go. Now you might be infected. Or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure a player cannot spread cough. They can only contract it. Next up, we've got the Primitive Devourer. Now, this one was added recently. And he works in water. So he can't actually hurt me right now. So, let's say if he were to go into this water over here, he would be able to fight me. See? Now, let me go and put him in some deeper water real quick. So you guys can get a better look at him. That's not deep water. There's some deep water. Oh, he's fast. He is very fast. Oh, he is something else, man. We're just gonna take you out now. Ugh. So that was all the primitive parasites. Next up, we're gonna go to the adapted parasites. Next up, we've got the adapted parasite. So the adapted long arms has two variants. So just like how the primitive Reeker had the regular variant and the pale variant. So the adapted long arms is actually the strongest parasite in the game, meaning it does the most damage out of any parasite in the game. But it's the second variant. The first variant is the regular one. The second variant is the Tyrant. That's not the right one. This is the regular adapted long arms, who has an area attack, and is basically the same as the primitive long arms, except does more damage, has more health, and can adapt better. Now, the parasites have things on their bodies called tendrils, and if you aim for them and cut them off, the parasite will not be able to adapt anymore. As you can see, I cut it off, and that gave the parasite rage, but also made it so the parasite cannot adapt anymore. So, apparently, you can't use a Totem of Undying against a parasite, for some reason. but you can still kill them. There we go. Next up, we've got... That's not the right one. Next up, we've got the Tyrant Adapted Long Arms, which is the parasite that does the most damage out of any parasite. Normal mode, 54 damage. Hard mode, 81. So, good luck ever trying to kill this thing. Or, good luck ever trying to survive this thing. Ooh. Next up, we've got the Adapted Summoner. Now, all the primitive and adapted parasites have the same abilities. It's just the adapted ones are much stronger and much better. Except this time, the Adapted Summoner can summon assimilated parasites as well as Raptors. Now this is the Adapted Reeker, which now gives poison 2 instead of poison 1. Okay, well, that was anticlimactic. Next up, we've got the Adapted Mandicator. The fastest parasite in the entire game. Now, actually, I forgot to tell you one thing about the Adapted Reeker. It has the most armor out of any parasite in the game. Alright, next up. Adapted Mandicator, who can still move fast in the water when he's invisible. Ooh. Next up, we have the Adapted Yellow Eye, who now has a melee attack as well as his ranged attack. And it also has the largest range in the entire game. The largest sight range of any parasite in the entire game. Maybe. I don't know. Raptors might have bigger sight. Or the Assimilated Ender Dragon, or an ancient parasite. Ugh. The noises. Next up, we've got the adapted bolster. Oh my gosh. Much different. Much scarier. Much stronger than the primitive one. He gives even better effects to other parasites than before. Yeah, he does 36 damage, which... Good lord. Now we've got the adapted Arachnida. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And he has even stronger pull than before. Yeah. Oh, he made me I can't even fucking see him. Holy shit, dude. Now, those were all the adapted parasites. Now, next up, we've got the rest, like miscellaneous parasites, stuff like that. Regular ones, inborn ones, ones that don't have, like, a tier list or something like that. So, next up, we've got the... Suspense is killing me. Buglin. Yeah, now this is the first parasite. This is the parasite that spawns in the world on phase 1. Now... If you don't know, the parasites have world phases. Right now, it's set on phase 0, so only these guys can spawn. And right now, they look like pathetic. They're basically retextured silverfish, or retextured endermites. Next up, we've got the Raptor, which is what the Buglin turns into after a couple seconds. I'd say a couple minutes, maybe, something like that. Raptor is one of the fastest in the game already, and the main source of the infection system. Next up, we've got a heavy carrier, which is actually probably still has the oldest model in the entire game, from the version 1.0.0, except he's a different color now. He used to be, like, red, green, black. Now he's just gray and black. So that's what the heavy carrier does. Releases Raptors, Buglins, and Primitive Yellow Eyes. I don't know why or how the Primitive Yellow Eyes got in there, or why that's a thing, but whatever. There we go. Next up, we've got a flying carrier. I didn't get to show you guys. Hold on. So this is a flying carrier, and it releases just Buglins and Raptors. I don't know what these raptors are doing. Are they fist bumping? Are they kissing? Are they jumping? Are they excited? Are they celebrating? Oh gosh. Ay, gosh. Next up, we've got a Vigilante. Now, this is the first of the pure Parasites. Pure Parasites are the next tier above Adapted. It's a standoff. Ooh. Yeah, he killed a pig a little bit. Pig. Oh my gosh. Now he has this melee or range attack and also a melee attack. Oh, he has huge knockback by the way too. Yeah, next up we've got Moving Flesh, which is what the assimilated parasites actually turn into. Now, if we were to put 4 together here, they melt together, you know, combining. And then they turn into one of the several primitive parasites. Oh yeah, and that's the other variant of the primitive Reeker, who has less health but double damage. Next up, we've got probably the biggest of all the parasites, or one of the most. I don't know. It's the infection system, the Beacon. Now, this is a stage 1 Beacon, meaning it's very small and it can only summon Raptors. And it infects the ground around it. But right now it's just... Oh, that was quickly. That was quick. Quickly it went back to grass. Now, the Beacon has 4 stages. And it takes like 20 minutes for it to go from stage 1 to stage 4. Next up, we've got a Stage 2 Beacon, which can summon assimilated mobs, as well as Raptors, and flying carriers. We've got a Stage 3 Beacon, which can summon primitive parasites, pure parasites, as well as assimilated and inborns, and heavy carriers too. And then finally, we've got the Stage 4 Beacon, which can destroy your entire planet. And can summon other Beacons, lower tier Beacons, and can also transform your entire world into a parasite place. There we go. Yeah, you do not want to let that thing appear in your world. Next up, we've got the Kyphosis, which spawns out of Stage 3 Beacon infested ground. Whoa, my gosh. Hello there. Okay, then. Okay. Hello. Okay, he's not in the mood. Oh, 35 damage is a lot of damage. Next up, we've got the Sentry, which also comes out of Stage 3 infested grass. Now, look at my armor. That is a lot of armor degradation. Next up, we've got the Overseer. He shoots fireballs as well as has a melee attack. What are you doing? Next up, we've got a Warden. And look at his jump. You see that? Yeah. You do not want to run into this thing. Oh, and he has a charge attack that ignores invincibility frames. For doing 25 damage, I feel like he's already overpowered enough. This... Whew. Yeah, we're just gonna spawn another one. Right. Next up, we've got a light bomber. Now this guy drops light bombs onto you. Oh! I didn't realize he could dive bomb like that. So, yeah, you don't want to run into this thing, especially if you don't have any ranged weapons. Like me, who just didn't. Next up, we've got the Marauder. This is one of the strongest and most annoying parasites in the game. He's just like the Warden, but he's much slower, but a lot stronger. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can see him just being himself. And he has a attack that also ignores invincibility frames. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was pretty terrifying. Oh my gosh, how does he know? How did he know I was here? Ooh. Let me show you the attack again. You didn't see it very well. Oh my gosh. He can break so many blocks too. You can see that. Yeah, ignores invincibility frames. There we go. Oof. Oh my god, imagine just seeing that, like, come up out of the ground. That was terrifying. Oh my gosh, okay, well. I am getting crushed to death by a bunch of parasites. Let me just slash kill at E. Alright, next up we've got the Grunt. It's like mother and or daughter, father and son. I don't know. Man, that is loud. I can hear it from all the way over here. Next up, we've got the Heavy Bomber, which is currently a work in progress, as spawning it just spawns a zombie. Whoa! Oh, he's holding a sword, that's why. And finally, we have the Ancient Parasites. The Ancient Dreadnought and the Ancient Overlord. Alright. Take them out now. And it appeared the Ancient Dreadnought was stuck. Can you stop shooting me? And those are all the parasites. Now next up we're going to take a look at the weapons. So we've got the Living Sith, the Sentient Great Sith, the Living Axe, the Sentient Great Axe, the Living Sword, the Sentient Great Sword, the Living Cleaver, the Sentient Great Cleaver, the living bow, and the sentient great bow. Now, what the Siths do is like an advanced version of Sweeping Edge, where you can hit like so many enemies around you. The axe makes it so it ignores armor when it hits something. The living sword inflicts like bleeding effects and stuff like that. The cleaver gives like poison and like debuffs, stuff like that. And the bow, the longer you hold it, the bigger damage you'll do. And that's pretty much it for the Parasite mod right now. We've gotten a lot done in this time, but that's about it for now. I will be doing a series on it soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.